Guys, disc golf is fucking hard. Not sure if you've also come to that conclusion, but I don't think there's anything that I could equally hate and love. I'll mentally and sometimes physically abuse myself on the course, yet still wake up the next day with a smile on my face ready to go back. 3 weeks ago, I shot 934 rated and almost gave away my discs to the little kid playing with his dad on the last hole. Good thing I didn't, because I finally shot my first 1000 rated round. In Crocs, too. Also, all on film, so stay tuned for that. But before that, we gotta talk about what makes disc golf so hard. Honestly, I think it's pretty simple. What other competitive thing have you done in your life without a coach? Ever since we were young playing pee-wee soccer or t-ball, there was always someone teaching you first, then guiding you when you're doing things wrong until the motion is effortless. All those practices you went to actually were paying off, even if you were just slacking. It takes 10,000 hours to become a master. Even though I'm pretty sure that's been debunked, the sentiment still stands. Now think back at your disc golf career and tell me if you can remember someone teaching you how to throw, or if you just went out and did what felt natural. That's why we see so many different throwing styles, because oftentimes it's just what felt good for most people and they went with it. And if you're like me, I'm never gonna tell someone their form is shit unless they ask me first. Then I'll gladly roast the fuck out of them. But help, of course. Luckily, our club has Trevor. He takes the basic tips and tricks from disc golf skills he's obtained over the years and hosts clinics teaching everything to whoever wants to learn. This is a great way people can obtain new skills to their game. Because let's be real, how many of you actually go out and do field work? I don't blame you. That shit's boring as hell. But when you got a group of 20 guys all turning their egos down to the max and practicing, it can be fun. I know, shocker. I swear you've never seen more vulnerable middle-aged men than in a field throwing their first forehands. But the best part is, they had Trevor help fix the issues they were doing wrong right away. Instead of the other option of watching some YouTube tutorial on throwing forehands and then messing it up by themselves. Trevor was able to be hands-on with the people and could be right there to show them what's up, and could be right there for them when they need help. Maybe I'm crazy, but I've never had something like this, and I played collegiate disc golf for 3 years. Yeah, no coaching, no nothing. We did what every other disc golfer calls practice. Random dubs once a week. Just kidding. We did it 3 times a week. But funny enough, never really practiced anything. That's how it goes for most people, yet they still wonder why they aren't improving. I'm sure if you look hard enough, there's some local pro hosting clinics near you. Or, it doesn't hurt to ask for help from anyone you think is better than you. I know disc golfers are antisocial, I'm the same way. But there's nothing a disc golfer wants to do more than talk about disc golf, especially about the nerdy shit. If anything, you just gave that person the opportunity to non-stop talk about something nobody else would ever ask them. Go find yourself a Trevor, because he's one of the best mentors I've seen in the game, ready to help whoever, whenever. But that doesn't mean his discs are off the hook. I mean, the dude might be out here saving disc golf lives, but for some reason, he still decided to throw shitty discs. Come on, Trev. You're putting with Lunas? The only thing that could be worse would be roaches. Then again, you used to be on the Prodigy Street team, and I'm not sure if there's a worse rock bottom. Even worse than the time the table broke on Mankind. You must have not learned because you still have the PA5 in the bag. How did you not realize this disc was dog water? They literally had to make 4 other shitty versions before they got to this one. Bro, how do you bag 9 putters? That might be the most I've ever seen. Although, now that I'm looking at it, I think I deciphered what happened. You must have been the kid who bought whatever was new first to show off, which is how the Kratos and Pixel are in there. Have you found out that doesn't make you cool yet? No? Well, bagging 2 bergs should be enough of a sign. Technically, one has an X on it, but I hope you're not stupid enough to believe that there's actually a difference. And then an envy. What other disc games I want to fit in than that? Probably have a blue and yellow one too. If you haven't felt the Divergent Golem, don't. Not because it's precious or anything, but it's more floppy than my dick after the 3rd time in a row I beat it harder than Michael Jackson. That sounded more graphic than it needed to be, but I assure you that is a perfect representation of this dead fish of a disc. Trevor says it's good for sticking to the ground and not skipping away, but for all I care, you give up your rights to give an opinion once you put a berg in the bag. You know, once you stop being on that team, you can take all that prodigy out of your bag. You must have forgot about the A2, because there's no other reason you should have it in there. And that archive? Yeah, keep it in the archives. No one throws that thing. Let's be honest with ourselves. Bro, MX1 and M4? You gotta stop with this flashy prodigy shit. I can't make jokes about discs I have no idea what they are. Do you blame me? There's no reason I would pay money for a weapon I'd see in a Saw movie. Thankfully, you have that hex over there, which saves your mid-range selection, because it was not looking good. Still doesn't look great, but if you threw everything else away, you'd be chillin'. I wish I could assume this FD3 was the original and not that Swedish bullshit, but I could never give the benefit of a doubt to a person who bags dynamic. Come on, bro. Only thing that could be worse is more prodigy. And here's a spoiler. We're not done with that either. And no, I'm not talking about the Invader. Just like how I don't care enough to mention anything about the FX3 or H7. I've given Prodigy enough spotlight already. Trevor liked his Ballista so much that he upgraded to the ad-free version with the Ballista Pro. Even got two. Not sure why everyone local to me loves this disc, but I'll get to the bottom of it one day. I like the Pharaoh. Whoa, feels like a long time since I've said anything positive about your bag. Honestly, had no idea what the adder was, but once I learned it was an extremely overstable disc, I was happy to see you weren't bagging a tilt or something stupid like that. That's on me for talking too soon. I should have known better. A fucking D2 Air? Really? All I gotta ask is, why? Shout out Trev though, since he ran the clinic, it meant a free sanction round. I was scared because I hadn't played this course in over a year, and the only thing I remembered were the burrs everywhere. And I'm not talking the Ganon kind. I think I've slowly started to fully trust this orange yarn from my boy John, so thanks for that. My guy, the first birdie's on you. This next hole is dedicated to my peeps over at Ink Me Dies for the sweet Disc Golf World disc. Looks better than this birdie, that's for sure. For my local people, is it fair to say hole 3 at Central Park is the hardest hole on the course? And I only hit that tree to prove my point. With the headwind blasting at me and the flex required to shape the shot, I decided to do what I do best and leave the yarn short. When I tell you I didn't think I was going to hit this putt, believe me.
God. I did no confidence in myself on that one at all.
Still razzed by the last putt, I didn't throw the yarn flat and it faded out as it should. Left myself a circle's edge putt for birdie. I couldn't figure out if I should jump putt off the tee or what with this short ass basket. I should have asked Trevor first because he decided to smash it right off the cage. Instead, I threw it 40 long in the jungle, but nailed the stepper.
Yeah! Woo!
Holes 6 and 7 are dumb only because they cross fairways, and any course that does that is stupider than just letting me throw a big hyzer every shot. At least this hole there's an awkward shape I have to hit. I went Buzz SS on some anhyzer thinking it would float, but the wind just pushed it down right away. Wanted a nice flex out of my Firebird here, but put way too much angle on it. Luckily, gave myself a circle 2 putt. Just left it short. I threw this a bit too high, which let the putter drift. Although, I think the reason it faded to the basket was Trev. I knew he was in anime, but I had no idea he was an airbender.
Oh, yeah!
But hey, I'll take it. Finished up the front 9, 5 under, and now we restart. And I gotta be honest, I hate when courses do this. I understand it's a 9-hole course and there isn't anything we can do, but every shot I will be comparing to the first half. If I don't go 9 under this time around, I'll just be pissed. And it's not good when the wind decides to play the role of the creepy uncle and plays all around my disc. Back to hole 1 and I smacked the big ass tree into circle 2. I was in my head more than ever and should have took that blue chew on hole 8 because I still can't get it up. Continued my troubles on hole 3, well, technically 12, but whatever. At least I missed the tree this time, but that was just lucky if I'm being honest. Made the correction with the yarn this time. Trev, move. Trev. Trev! Well, I birdied, I promise. I was scared of a long putt, so I decided leave it short and an even bigger putt would be a better choice. Thankfully, it was one of those times I just knew it was going in.
In there. Boom. Funny how I just know it's going in. Put that on the highlight reel.
Again, I made the correction of throwing wider, even though the wind was trying its best to lift it away. Hole 7 is the only other hole I will listen to being harder, but the wind was slamming everything coming in with the necessary angle. I'll stand on my hole 3 pick. I took an extra deep breath and made sure this time around to not give this shot a disc golf Jesus Anheuser, setting myself up for a longer putt than I was comfortable with. Do you ever have those moments you're not too confident but have to wait your turn? That's what was going on here. I didn't quite know how the ratings were going to go, but felt good about my round so far. In my head, I wanted to end with 2 more birdies, but we had to look for Trev's disc, which kept me thinking, and then he had to re-tee. To no fault of his own, I was so stressed out for this putt, and with every negative thought in my head, I got the birdie, and even gave a little fist pump. What a bitch! Who does that within the circle? With that momentum and no tailwind behind me anymore, I gave some hyzer and the disc sailed right into the shit. Left with nothing but a small gap, I was praying to the Messiah we love to admire that I could just walk away with the par. He answered my prayer like he does time after time again, and to my surprise, it ended 1001 rated, with some more cards to finish. I told Trev I would never come back if it dropped to a 999 because I never shot 1000 rated before. And as the last card was official, I finally did it. Right on the dot, and on a course I would have never expected. So I guess Central Park is now in my top 5 local courses. That hits harder for people that live around me. Shout out Trevor for letting me roast his bag, and I'll be the first to say thank you for all you do. I know how much work behind the scenes you do, and it's a thankless job. And I know you don't do it for the praise, but still, you do a great fucking job and are one of the many that give me hope for the sport we all love. Now, you people that actually want to get better, go find yourself a Trevor, because I'm not that nice. My lessons are $50 a pop, but that's also why no one signs up. Which is why a like and subscribe go a long way, and I would appreciate if you did just that. Or check out this video of my journey discovering how weird the Axiom Crave is.
Try to get it down. Yeah. Oh! I thought you had that.